Hey guys, welcome to Friday SketchUp Live. I still don't have a good title for it. It's Friday night here, or Friday afternoon here. Well, actually, it's not. It's Friday just before noon. It is currently 11:58 in the a.m., so it's still Friday morning here, but it'll be midday by the time we actually switch the camera. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Hope everybody's had a great week. We are going to do something fun today. So I don't know if you've seen in the poll, or in the in the comments, we've already put up a poll. So I want to get your guys' input as much as possible and fill me in on what you think we should be modeling. So if you click on that straw poll link right there, you can hop in and vote for a couple options to just kind of general ideas for what we could be modeling. So check that out. But yeah, how's everybody doing out there? Where's everybody at? We have a nice, I think it's pretty nice. Let's see, it's 78 degrees here in Colorado right now. But how's everybody doing out there? Where are you guys at? Everybody experiencing some nice weather, hopefully leading into the weekend? Sorry, I'm still at coffee mode, just so you guys know. Iceland, Hawaii, Ontario. Nice. That's covered quite a bit of the U.S. And well, I know that Ontario and Ireland aren't in the U.S. I guess technically Hawaii's in the U.S., just outside of the main mass, right? And back from sunny Dorset. Welcome back, Andrew. Hey, guys. All right, folks. So, how's it going? Welcome. My name's Aaron. We have Jody and a special guest waiting on the line. They'll be hopping in just 1 minute. We are going to spend some time doing finish this house. So if you guys see this empty house over here, this is what we'll be working on. So we'll actually be transforming this shape into a different shape, I guess. It's really not too fine a point there. But this is going to be a fun one. There is a poll. Maybe Jody can repost again, so it'll be right at the top of the stream. We do want your input on what we should be modeling. So we're going to take this shape, make it into something. We have, I think, 4 options that we're looking at, different kinds of structures we could turn this into. There it is right there. So go ahead and vote in there what you think we should look at. And just a reminder, we are looking at, I did create an entry in here, finish this house. So if you have reference images or something like that as we start modeling you want to post, put them in here into this, because I can actually get or view these images during the live stream. So right there on our forum, forums.sketchup.com, search for Finish This House Live, and you'll be able to interact there. We are going to look at a entry that we all of us over at the SketchUp headquarters really enjoyed. So I'm going to go pull that up. I had it open. I was already forced to restart my computer once a day. This is this kind of day I've been having. So just tumbling into the weekend is where I'm at right now. So let me zoom down here a little bit and pull this entry up, and we will talk to almost there, the creator of the entry right here. So on the line with us, we have Edson. How's it going, Edson?
Fine. How are you, Aaron? How are you, Jody?
Hey, great.
Pretty
Hi,
good.
everybody.
So we went through a bunch of these. We've gone through all of them, and you know, it's so hard to say that this is the one we like, or this is they're all so good. So we've been trying to look at different things about the entries that we really like. So when we talked to Jono 2 weeks ago, the way that he turned his model sideways, it was real creative, it's very original. when we looked at Edson's entry, he started with these hand sketches of what he liked and then kind of developed those out into his final model. So uh, we just wanted to get Edson online. First off, congratulations. This is an awesome model, Edson.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
so we also wanted to just pull this up and, I mean, walk us through what was the thinking behind. Well, let's back up first. So let's introduce you a little bit. You do have a lot of experience with SketchUp and architecture in general.
Yes, yes. Well, I have 35 years of experience in architecture,
Mm.
both as a practicing architect and as a professor of architectural design. So I've been, you know, uh, taking these two things at the same time. One feeds the other. It's really interesting. And I've started with SketchUp in 2006, so I can say that I'm a kind of SketchUp veteran in a way. I know a couple of things about SketchUp, and I truly enjoy working with it. For me, it's a real pleasure to model anything. So when you started this activity, I found, well, it's a chance to have some fun, some fun doing it, and I took it. It took me 3 days to do this. I just dedicated the whole 3 days because, as everyone, I'm at home. I don't have to do I don't have to do boring stuff outside the house, so I have a lot of time, and I had great fun. It's just a pity that the model got so big that
Yeah.
all the furniture, all the trees, all the elements, the entourage outside had to be taken out in order for me to be able to upload it. But the pictures on your website show everything.
Yeah. Well, and that's it's a. I think you did a great job because you represented everything. You still have the 2D representations in there of the furniture, the plants, that kind of stuff. So uh, even though you had to peel it back a little bit, still looks very good. Yeah. If we hop back
Well, one of the
into.
things that I developed through time was that at some point I just got rid of any other 2D application. I do everything with SketchUp and layout. As you can see, the 2D representation of the furniture and everything is there. So I always have everything together when I prepare my documents. I just switch a layer on, a layer off, and that's it. And it's really great to work that in that integrated way.
And when we talked earlier, you said that when you launch into the design process, you don't even bother with 2D anymore. You just go straight for the 3D.
Yes, definitely. Uh, as I said to you yesterday, I used to design in the normal way we were taught at the school, drawing in 2D plans, sections, elevations, and then we would make a model, a physical model, and then when AutoCAD started, that horrible black thing, we would we would venture to make some 3D representation, but that was bad. And when I discovered SketchUp, I slowly understood that you could revert the process and design in 3D and then extract the 2D from it. And it's not just an inversion of the way. Designing in 3D means that you put in the model everything that's going to be in the building. And it demands some knowledge of how to build. But it's great. It gives you the feeling that you are really building something. To use the verb to build a model is actually to build. It's not just modeling, it's building a model.
And and something that I liked about what we talked about yesterday is that you said as a teacher, these are values you're instilling in your students too.
Yes, I try to. I have two kinds of students. I have the students that are entering the school, the graduate, the undergraduates, and then I have the postgraduate ones who are doing doctorates and masters, because a master's degree in Brazil is a postgraduate degree. So it's easier to teach the older ones this method of designing in 3D than to teach the entering ones because they don't have any knowledge of building. And in order for you to design in 3D, you have to know that there are bricks, that there is something facing the brick, that there is insulation and all the other stuff. But I try and I push SketchUp as much as I can. And because the competition from things like ArchiCAD, Revit is heavy. These guys
Hmm.
go to school and try to sell their stuff, but I always tell them, if you are concerned with design, you have to go with SketchUp. SketchUp allows you to design. These other applications make you think so much about the application that you kind of lose your way into the design.
Well, that's
I was
awesome.
I was am- I was amused to hear your perspective on the graduate students not really needing a teacher because they already know everything and you're just getting in their way.
Yeah, well, I don't know if in other disciplines it's the same thing, but in architecture, they come into the school. First, they come kind of humble, but then they realize that they can be a great artist even before being it, and start to develop very quickly this arrogance. So much so that it's very difficult to talk to fourth and fifth year students because they look at you as just an old man who is outdated because you use SketchUp and not the latest fancy application that is around. And but then after they graduate, they come down to earth. They realize that they don't know anything. They must keep on studying and practicing to start understanding architecture because architecture is difficult to do, especially responsibly.
Well, and you have to start off in architecture somewhat humbled anyway. You have to go in at an entry level position where you're back to being a peon.
Yes, yes, that's true.
Well, that's awesome. I think this is great, and it's really nice to hear that somebody out there is pushing SketchUp into the new people's arms and letting them see that and encouraging the 3D design process. That's very nice. I like to hear that too.
Well, I think the way to do it, besides talking about it, is to show them what I do with SketchUp. And this I do all the time. I show them my designs. I show them how I do it. I show them how I can't say it's too easy. It's not too easy. You have to spend some time learning the program. But then once you learn it, it's like playing tennis. You don't think anymore about the racket. You don't think anymore about anything. You think about the movements, about getting your opponent into trouble. And with SketchUp, once you know the ropes, you think about the project, not about how I'm going to draw this or that.
That is honestly one of the things I've always liked about SketchUp is it's one of the few softwares that kind of it is what it is and it gets out of your way. Some of the other, especially architectural tools, I've seen a lot of designers and architects and engineers tailor their creation to work inside the tool that they have given to them. And that's backwards. It should be the other way around.
Yes, I agree.
Excellent. Well, thank you for entering. Thank you for the model, and thank you for coming to say hi to us.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
All right. Well, hopefully you stick
Thanks
around and
for
you can
having me.
see what. I won't do something this big, but or this good, but I'll do something. Awesome.
Something messy.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks again, Edson. That is a great entry.
Take care.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. So something else I did want to. We're going to jump into this model right here in just a few seconds. I do want to call this out because this is something I want to touch back on a little bit later. Is something else we're kind of polling on. We have been kicking around the ideas of changing how we're doing live streaming. Right now we're streaming 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it's a lot. So of course we're happy to do it, love hanging out with you guys, but it's a lot of content to create, and we're kind of feeling like maybe we should dial it back a little bit. Like we're oversaturating our own market. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Again, up on the forum, Jody can post a link to this as well, just to see when you guys think, how often should we do this? What days of the week should we do this? Should we consider this? If you can pop in and take that poll also. We want to do this not just as a way to eat up the week, but as a way that you guys get the most out of it. So 3 seems to be too much. So we're wondering if we should dial it back to 1 or 2 instead. So love to hear your input on that as well. Yeah, there's actually the poll that Jody has is the one to follow. So this was something we just kind of did yesterday just to start the process, but we'd love to hear specifically from you guys on your thoughts on the process. All right, I think that's everything. Was that everything? There's a lot of stuff there to remember to talk about.
Let's see. Do you have check boxes? Let me see. No, yeah, it looks good.
Okay. Okay, so our biggest question was, what should we turn this into? And it looks like we have some pretty definitive feedback. It looks like you guys want to see this turn into a castle.
Wait, what happened to my Dr. Seuss results? Dang it. I was sure that was going to win.
We weren't going to do organic modeling today, sorry.
Oh, dang it.
You know, it is fun. I had to mention this. I appreciated a lot of the stuff that Edson mentioned. One thing he talked about was that, you know, he referred to AutoCAD coming out as that black thing, which I don't know if you guys, if you haven't been around design that long and don't remember that, then good for you. You guys are awesome. But one of the first things that I worked in design on was actually creating 3D framing details for light gauge steel framing. And we drew 3D isometric views in 2D. So we would start with, you know, we basically create our own XYZ axis. We'd have a vertical line for the Z axis, and then we'd have X and Y lines at, you know, 30 degrees off of perpendicular, and just kind of use those to create those lines. And I remember drawing that in CAD going, man, this would be so much easier to draw this in 3D. Because you just draw the same shapes over and over again, and creating drawings of 3D images in 2D, it was kind of ridiculous. So I had, yep, Nerman knows what I'm talking about. He did that. YouTube has developed an allergy to ACAD. Sorry to hear that. I think I don't want to sound too old, but I think I started on AutoCAD 11 when I was in high school. Wait.
Yeah, I don't remember what version it was. It was my first year in college, and that was 91. What version was in 91? Oh, jeez.
That must have been 9, 10, something like that.
Maybe that was AutoCAD 91, right? They used the year.
I don't think that's true. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that was. I remember when 13 came out.
Is that right?
Well, yeah, it could be 8. Because like I said, I think I started in 93, and I think I was on 11, but yeah.
Yeah, I would rather have a drafting table and paper than go back to AutoCAD. No offense to you AutoCAD fans, but it's the comment that SketchUp gets out of the way is very apropos. AutoCAD was very much in my way, and a lot of these different modeling packages are like that.
Yeah, and that's I think. Yeah, I was running it through DOS as well. Kenneth just said that he had version 9 on DOS and hated it. I do remember being on there, and I did. It was the one thing I will give to AutoCAD is it taught me the power of shortcut keys, because I still remember E for erase and you know, a handful of those kind of tools where I could just click a button on the shortcut keys, and that was pretty nice. But other than that, oh man, drawing in 3D and having a tool that's just there to let you draw and not tell you how to draw, it's good stuff. Yeah, but Nerman's saying he hated scraping the mistakes from the paper, but if you had the right electric eraser, remember those? Is like it spun a chunk of eraser in a circle and it would let you go in and knock lines out. Oh, that was fun. Though I did waste a lot of those eraser chunks by using the eraser as a lathe and carving shapes into the eraser as it spun. That wasn't helpful.
I'm
Awesome.
not sure if anybody's going to get a chance to change the results, but one last time.
Yeah,
The votes are still going in towards
they're
the
still
castle.
going in, but they're definitely, we're over 50% in favor of one specific result. So, sorry, I was stalling a little bit there, guys. Well, reminiscing. It's good. It's good to hear you guys, because sometimes, you know, I spend a lot of time. Maybe you can connect with this, but I spent some time being that lone SketchUp guy who, you know, everybody else was happy with this other tool they're using, and I was sitting there alone going, yeah, but check out this SketchUp thing. So I don't know how many of you guys had that same thing going on, but I'm so glad that in the end, it got to use SketchUp instead of have to use, you know, other stuff.
AutoCAD 12, Mohammed said. All right, there you go. That's when I started, or AutoCAD 11, one of those two. Ugh, I do not want to go back to that though.
That was creaky.
Well, and there was also just the joy of having to go sit in a computer lab to learn it on campus.
But you know, one of the fun things about using computers back then for that kind of CAD software, I don't know if you remember this, but the mice had that little metal ball in the bottom you could take out. That was so much fun to play with. That big metal rubber wrapped ball.
Yeah, there's so many hacks, right? It starts to track funny, so you have to pull out your eraser and erase the little bits of debris that built up.
Or that was a great practical joke, sneak in and pull the ball out of somebody's mouse and see how many minutes it took them to figure out that why their mouse wasn't working. Ugh.
Of course, you could tell when the mouse wasn't there because the thing weighed like half a pound. So you're just like, why did my mouse get so light?
2/3 of the weight was just that ball. Okay, I think we've stalled enough. We're going to go for the medieval castle. So we're going to do it. That's what we're going to do.
Maybe afterwards you can add colors to it to make it look Dr. Seuss-ish without all the crazy organic shapes.
Maybe. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay.
All right.
So here's how I would tackle this process. So the design prompt, right? So we have two pieces here. One is the landscape. So we can modify that however we want. The bulk of the house, this portion of the house, I have to maintain, this is the requirement, I have to maintain the shape of the structure. So location of the walls, the floors, that stuff all has to stay where it is. I can add on to this. I can punch doors and windows in. But that's the general idea of what I need to maintain. So that's what we got to operate inside of. So here's what I'm thinking with this is just my quick broad brushstroke design idea. I think that we'll put a grand entry right here. Maybe it'll be like a big arched entry with double doors that open out. And then maybe we'll stick a moat all the way around too. So maybe it'll be like, put a drawbridge on the front too. It'll come down over that. That's kind of my initial idea. Put some porthole type windows along all the way around. Up on the second floor, I'm kind of thinking maybe we turn this little bump out into a tower that goes up another floor higher. So have like a lookout here, and then all the way around, maybe from like here around, we put, oh man, I need my castle terminology. Those sticky uppy bits.
Castlewords.com.
You know, the parts that stick up. I could put
Turrets.
those. Yeah, a turret up
Parapets?
here, but what's the wall that kind of goes, you know, it's like teeth. I'm just gonna draw it. Here, hold on real quick. So
Wait a minute. I'm sure that there is. Yeah. Okay. There are plenty of pictures that have diagrams of what the words are. Let's see. Moat. No. Portcullis. No. Barbican. Curtain wall. Tower. Bailey. Arrow loop. Battlements. Keep.
battlements. Is that this?
Maybe. I don't know what you're looking. I'm not looking at your thing. Yeah.
Oh, is that a battlement?
What's interesting. So the curtain walls, the wall that goes around the outer edge. This is interesting. Is whenever I built my timber frame, that's what they refer to the walls around the frame itself, because the timber frame supported it. You didn't need walls that could support anything, so they just call them curtain walls because they're basically there and they didn't serve any purpose besides keeping the cold outside.
See, anytime somebody says curtain
Which
walls, my thought is like almost storefronty kind of things, but I don't know why I think that. But that's the image I get in my head.
I mean, yeah, it's the idea, right? It's a wall that doesn't really serve much purpose besides keeping the riffraff out,
That's
or
right.
making it look a certain way.
I hear it's for
Making stuff up there.
repelling invaders. So.
Oh yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Oh no, Stephen Dorr said that he was moved to a trackball when he was assigned a desk, and it was too small to move a mouse.
That's really bad.
I tried a trackball because there's certain things that are good about it, like you can get them that where relieve tendonitis pressure because you're not curling your hand over. But man, I could not, for the life of me, make one of those work. It was terrible. All right, so I want to start by. All right, I'm looking at this. This is where the design process starts. Stuff is happening, trust me, even though it doesn't look that way. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting I forgot what we called them, parapets around the walls. The one spot that's going to be an issue, so let's see, what is this? This is 5 feet, so it's a mini castle. This won't be a full-size thing.
A castleette.
That's right. This is a starter castle. This is a duke, a little duke. Don't even get into jokes with that little duke thing.
Yeah, let's leave that alone. I almost went there and then I backed off.
I know, me too. Castellation, defensive or decorative parapets with regularly spaced notches, which are battlements. See, I learn so much on this thing right here. So what I want to do is I want to get this section of floor to step out so I have that same 5 foot all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out 5 foot from that location and put that line, come this way another 5 feet, come out this way and drop that down. There we go. So that's really all I need was that break. And I want that to come out 5 feet from here. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a reference or a guide, bring that out 5 feet. I can pull that out till it snaps there. All right, there we go. So that's what I want. Give me that full 5 foot walkway all the way around. Now, if I look at the measurements here, I'm kind of thinking 14 foot 2, 11 foot 6, 16 foot 6, 9 foot 9. I was wondering if I could have a standard size piece. I think I'm going to still try to get that to work. Let me see what I can do here. So if I bring this up, so they go up to like this high. So I'm going to go here and go up 5 feet up. And I'm just going to put a rectangle right here is all I'm really doing. All right. Now, looking at this, I want to break this down into, I would like to have standard size battlement chunks that I can put in here. So I'm kind of thinking if I take this and I divide it in half again, how big is that? That's 3 feet. So if I come over 6 and drop down 24, just kind of spitballing some dimensions here right now. That's going to give me...
I think that's how they actually did them back in the day too. Medieval SketchUp used spitball dimensions as well.
All right, so I'm going to try using 2 foot 6, and I'm going to push the odd dimensions out to the corners. So this, well, actually here, let's get rid of this. So this right here, I'm going to take And I'm going to move it 3'6". Whoops, I did not go in a straight line. That was weird. It was just off of straight and it dropped it down below. So if I grab all of this and I slide it along this line, 3'6", that's going to give me this piece, which is exactly 2'6". So I'm going to grab this piece right here, make it a component, and this is going to be my standard battlement.
I feel like you should be, while you're doing this, you should use proper medieval units. Like I didn't use feet, you know, make reference. Well, maybe I use feet, I don't know. What units did they use in the medieval era? Hey, Google.
Corpses, I think. How many standard corpses is that?
There you go.
All right, so what I'll do then, as this is killing me. I gotta align my axes.
We already lost Ilgiz. They're going to sleep. Jeez,
What?
Aaron.
I guess I
Heck.
talked too much without modeling. Got boring. Falling asleep. Heading out.
I blame you.
I guess so. I'll take it. All right. Put the axis down. Axis. I said it right, Jody. Put the axis down there.
Yay.
All right.
Keep it up.
So now I can take that. So what I'll be able to do then is just get rid of these lines.
Cubits. The length from fingertip to elbow. I don't know if Andy's if he's playing me here, if this is a real
I
thing.
think that's true.
I thought cubits were that cute little guy with the nose and he jumped around on geometric shapes. Right?
My kingdom for a new dad joke. Okay, so here's how I'm seeing it still. All right, so what I'm going to do is take these two and drop them at the middle, and then I'll rotate those like that. Again, same thing, option, put that one right in the middle, rotate that one like that, and I'll just drop one of these on each wall right now, right in the middle. And I do want to, I know this is, I'm picking up each one, putting it, and I'm rotating it rather than copying to the opposite side of the building, because I do want to be conscious of the outside. So I want to make sure that like right now, that gray face is facing me, and that is how I want it right now. I don't want to just grab this one and bring it over and slap it on this wall, because then it'll be facing the wrong way. Put this one right here. So some may ask at this point why I'm doing this with 2D shapes instead of 3D shapes. That would be a good question.
Yes, I do.
I don't know. I was just saying some people might wonder.
Oh, okay. Dang it. I thought there was going to be like some wisdoms offered up there.
Nothing profound. I just started drawing it that way and stuck with it. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to grab this one, stick it right in the middle of this one. And then I can grab that one, drop it right here.
So a lot of times when I'm doing projects in my shop, I tend to work in 4 foot and 8 foot increments, because that's kind of the magical number when you go to the big box store and buy stuff.
That makes sense.
And I wonder if they had some similar medieval sort of go-to number like that.
Like a standard,
stuff always
standard set of
worked out.
cubits.
Yeah.
That's a good
Like
question.
whose fingertip and elbow was used in the, maybe it was some guy named Cubit, and that's where they got the name for it. Huh?
From Cubit's wood shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I mentioned that because as I'm looking at this, I'm wondering how you're going to finish up your corners to make it look proper.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work my way around and start shifting pieces to line up. So 3 fits there pretty well. I think right here what I'll be able to do is, actually this one, how big is this? 4'9". So if I take these and I move, whoops, these and I move that to, where did my midpoint go? There we go, midpoint. No, that's an odd dimension there. So what I will do instead is something like that. Whoops, that one didn't go to the right spot. Scoot that over.
Well, here's a whole a wealth of information about the cubit. So yeah, the elbow to fingertip of your middle finger was considered the equivalent of 6 palms or 2 spans. And it actually started in Egypt, like 5,000 years ago.
Ooh. So
I didn't even think they spoke English, so how'd they know to call it a cubit?
I don't know. All right, I'll check this dimension and see if it is less or more than half of one piece. It's well over half. So what that means is I will take these 6 pieces, scoot them so the middle of this piece goes to the middle, and I can take one more, slide it down.
So Lawrence said he downloaded a Lego Millennium Falcon done in Inventor. How big do you think the file was? Don't look at chat. How big was the file?
I don't know how big my file was. So
wrong. 1.45 gigabytes.
Whoa.
He modeled every letter, all the text.
That's a rookie mistake right there. That's a lot of That's a lot of geometry right there. That's a big one.
I guess if you're quarantined at home, you got a little time to kill. Why not go into Inventor and model the word Lego
a million times
into every brick?
You know, I've been in a pandemic such as the one you mentioned, and I still felt no desire to do that.
But that's because you had already done it previously outside of a pandemic.
That is true. Whoa, is this really going to line up perfectly? Well, how about that?
That was an accident.
Yeah, that was a happy little accident. Somebody in the comments likened me to Bob Ross and at the same time Norm Abrams. So figure that one out.
Bob Abrams.
Right, yeah.
That's better flow than Norm Ross.
Ooh, Norm Ross sounds like a high school or something. Go Cougars!
Look at that.
Okay, so that is my battlements, and then what I'm thinking is I will right now before I make the corners different pieces, I'll come into one of these and put some depth on it. I don't want it to look too weird, so I might make it a little bit thinner than it will probably actually be, but I want it to make it look like it would actually fit on the building. I mean, pretty sure they were made to repel cannon fire, right? So they were like a foot or two thick. If I do that, it's going to be kind of ridiculous looking.
Well, so what would the modern equivalent be of cannon fire? Because you only have to really be able to stand up to what someone has today. Nobody has a cannon anymore.
That's true. Curt words?
I don't know. I mean, I guess there's always a possibility of having...
It's got to be strong enough to stand up to a cyberbully.
But so are we talking like 14-year-old girl cyberbully or like which kind? Or like President of the United States? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
I'll back off
All
of that one.
Moving on. Here's what I'm going to do. This right here, I think this floor is a foot deep, so I'm going to make these a foot deep. And then I'm going to grab this bottom line and just scoot it straight down 12 inches. So that's going to be my parapet geometry. I think that works. That works good for me. Now, oops, that didn't
I like that little bevelly bit on the bottom.
Pretty fancy. I must have did something. Oh, green. There we go. Okay. So I like that. Now what I can do is I can actually come in here. So I'm going to grab this one, make it unique. and then I will, actually, no, yeah, I'll still do this. I'm going to pull it out. So I'm going to end up, the odd dimension is going to show up here in the corner, not up here in this piece. This piece will be the same. Same thing here. I will make this unique. Or
as I'm looking at pictures,
Mhm.
and I don't want to tell you how to do this, but every time there's a corner, rather than having the battlements meet up, they tend to have a little tower, which is how
Okay.
they avoid the scaling, having to rescale your battlement chunks.
Okay,
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna do something like that. I like that. I like that. I appreciate that input. That was well received. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
I'm glad to be a part of the whole thing.
All right, so I'm just gonna run around here. Oops. Nope. Can you?
I'm all too familiar with trying to figure out what to do when I get to a corner, because on my shop I put corrugated tin around the bottom 3 feet all the way around it. And every place where it meets up to the corner of my shop, it's now just exposed corrugated tin. I didn't really plan for anything that was going to be attractive.
Oops.
On those corners.
Well,
because it's tricky. Corners are tricky.
They are, especially non-90 corners. 90-degree corners, you can get to look pretty nice, but this mess right here, silliness. All right. Is there anybody out there watching who has not submitted but would like to? Is anybody out there still working on their submission? And if you're at that point, what's your problem? Why haven't you got there yet? Sorry, that was ruder than I intended. What's preventing you from getting it turned in? Let's say that.
Well, I'm gonna post a link to the place where you can learn about it, and that way you have no excuse.
Yeah.
I think I am anyway.
Well, that's the plan, maybe. I definitely have to do some doctoring of this corner right here. Ew, that got weird. Also, another potential topic of discussion would be, what do you guys think we should do with this live stream? So right now we did, like I said, we did that poll in the forum, and right now the overwhelming winner is everybody's kind of thinking we should go back to once a week on Fridays, as opposed to doing like Wednesdays and Fridays or anything like that. So something else we can talk about whilst I click is if anybody has any strong opinions and would like to get them heard.
We've got 16 results in the
Wow.
new straw poll version of the poll, and 37%, 38% rounding up, say any day of the week is good, and 25% say Friday. So that sort of suggests that, wait, let me math this together real quick. 62.5% say Friday.
All right.
Although you could then say that 50% say Tuesday, or 40 or 50% say Thursday. I don't know. I'm getting, it's too many maths in here. Too much numbers.
Isn't that the worst?
Oh, Andy said arrow slits in the corners, and Andrew said you put the privy in the battlements. So a couple additional considerations.
Wasn't really thinking about the facilities, to be honest.
See, if you were Edson, you would be thinking about that, because he included everything in his model.
He did. Yeah, but let me. No offense to Edson, but if
He
the
also took.
the 14-year-old girls do attack, I don't know how you're gonna defend yourself in his thing. So
That's a good point. Also, I believe he's mentioned his time frame was 3 days, not 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours.
that's true. No, but I did like it. Like it was kind of fun because Jody was there. You're part of this whole thing, but we got in there and tried to. We've run this a lot where we do these challenges and people submit, which is of course the goal, is to get people to submit the stuff. And you get stuff that's just so different. Like no two entries are the same, right? And some people go for a cartoony look and some else go for super realistic look. And you get done and it's just like, how do you compare it? You know, like, is my apple pie better than your spaghetti? It's so difficult. So I think what we ended up doing, one of the things we ended up doing a lot of was we kind of went in and said, you know, this one is good in its own way, and this one is just as good in a different way. So that's kind of, I don't know. That was kind of how I looked at it as we went in and judged. Is that a fair summation?
Challenge goes from them, moves away from them having everybody making a model to the challenge being us figuring out which one was quote unquote best.
Yeah.
Okay, we had 2 people now just popped up at the same time organically. I didn't solicit this. They're wondering about that thing there in your left hand.
Oh, this whole thing?
Oh, this whole thing.
This right here is what's called a space mouse or a 3D mouse. Specifically, this is the Space Mouse Enterprise from 3D Connection. So this allows me to move the model in 3D space with this hand, leaving this hand over here free to use my Logitech mouse. So this means I can spin around in 3D space while I go maybe pick a command from up here, or I can do selections as I move through the building, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's a great way to, if you're a designer, optimize your time in SketchUp in your design. If you are presenting, it makes for nice smooth movements once you've practiced as you move through the building, rather than what can sometimes be felt as kind of being jerky animation like this.
So if that thing is the space mouse, then could we presume your Logitech mouse is a Earth mouse?
You okay with that, buddy? Yeah, it's okay.
All right, cool.
It's gonna work. All right. I'm trying to figure out how I want this corner battlement to go. I think something like that looks nice. That's nice. All right. So I'm gonna take that, make that into a new component, and I need to set my point. I'm gonna set my axis at this point right here. See, now I'm just angry about axes.
Don't be angry.
I can't help it. Okay, now I'll just move that to right here and rotate it 90 degrees. That'll work. I don't know my inside corners are going to get those. We'll take this one, option, stick it right.
The corners are where the privy goes, I guess, right?
That's what I've heard. I mean, talked to a couple experts and some people who are privy to that sort of information.
So Sam Berhe on YouTube would like you to say his name on YouTube.
Sam, what?
Berhe. You can pronounce that, I guess, however you'd like.
Bear?
And he can correct us. He or she.
Berhe?
I guess Sam could be Barry.
Bear. I guess that is the question, is can I say that?
Maybe that's
jury's out,
maybe
my friend.
Actually,
jury's
yeah,
out.
that is. It's not will you, it's can you say this? See if you can.
Good luck. So you be the judge. Why did that not line? Oh, because I clicked on the wrong spot. They're both wrong. Oh, come on, man.
Gotta do the right spot.
Gee. Whew, okay.
William suggested you might save. I don't think you
That's
should,
good, yeah.
but whatever.
Let's save this as not the template either. Let's go ahead and save this as finish this castle. Oh, I misspelled castle. Oh, it's a small
Sam
castle,
said
so I
thank
left
you.
out a letter.
Oh, there you go. Sam said thank you. So apparently one of the ways which his name was pronounced was correct. Or her
You're
name.
welcome.
I'm sorry, Sam could be either one.
Mr. Sam. We're on a first name basis. That's why I didn't nail that last name.
Boom.
Me and Sam.
Okay, so Orhun is wondering what your next live model is going to be. Have you thought that far ahead? Well, it's
haven't.
actually not
That's
Orhun. It's
next week.
he's in a meeting.
Oh.
It's Evrim.
Oh. Hi, Evrim. What do you think we should model next? That would really be the question.
Burhi. That's how Sam said last name.
Burhi. Burr.
All the above, man. I'll allow it.
Yeah, none of those are quite lining up right. 90 degrees. I don't know. All right, anyhow, one more corner piece of slap in here. And then got some inside corners to clean up right quick. And then we can throw that tower up high. Oh, it's coming together. It's
Wow.
try and tell me that's not a castle. Castlette?
Castlette.
Castlette?
Castle. That sounds good. Did you ever see The Man with Two Brains?
Yes,
Starring
one of Steve Martin's
Steve and-
best.
Yeah, it's classic. So, as they go to the mad scientist's, I don't know, lab, he has these big, just ornate-looking, crazy heavy doors, but they're made out of,
Does he live like
I
in
don't
a
know, foam or something?
condo complex?
Do you
and
remember
everything's
the
like
doors?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he like accidentally puts his finger through the door, and so like his manservant's constantly replacing the big, very easily broken door. I feel like that's how you'd build this in
I
your
do
modern
remember
house.
that.
That was one of my favorite movies. I grew up on Steve Martin,
Oh yeah.
Richard Pryor.
I could probably, I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling I could probably still quote a majority of The Jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife mentioned that she was born a poor black boy recently. I think that was how the line actually went. And my son was like, "You're what?" And he tried to call her and check her privilege or something.
Oh. Yeah, I guess there's
That was a great
certain
movie.
parts of that have aged less well than others.
Oh yeah, no. There's the modern social justice warrior would not cotton to Steve Martin's commentaries or quotes. Same with Richard Pryor. There's
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of not so casual racism in my youth.
Yeah, I look back on it and I guess I never thought about it at the time. I mean, I just, I don't know, but it's kind of weird to look back and think that that stuff was
How is this
so
normal? When
casually
you look at it
okay.
now, you're just like, this is not okay now.
Yeah, we were gonna watch Blazing Saddles and decided against it with the kids. I
Yeah,
still super funny. Like it was a part of my childhood, but man, just not. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna
So,
take this
when
up
I-
9 feet. 9 feet.
When I was 13, my son's age, I think my favorite movie was The Blues Brothers. And now I'm just like, what? And that's not even nearly as raw as most of the Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder, Steve Martin movies. Sam's wondering how long it took you to become a master of SketchUp.
As soon as I become a master, I will let you know. I would not claim that title myself. I just happened to get the right job at the right time and have a camera. That was not self-deprecating.
Have a camera.
Oh, it's their camera.
That's
Yeah, SketchUp's camera.
yeah. Having a camera seems like it's moving forward. That's going to be one of the largest parts of how our society functions. Film everything, and
Yeah,
show the world how to do cool new stuff.
I've been using SketchUp for when was version 7?
Oh, long time ago.
So give or take, long time.
Plus or minus 1 year. So SketchUp 7 was technically in the Google era,
Yes.
and
It was the second Google release?
so it was a well, 5 was like, we released 5 right around that time, because then that's when the free version came out. But I think 5 was already out when we were acquired. Like, we made 5, got acquired by Google, and made SketchUp Free, I think is what it was called at that time, which was based off of 5. Yeah. So yeah, that would be the second one released under Google. November 17th, 2008. Does that sound right? Yeah, that sounds right.
Sure. So that was it.
Back
That was the
when it
version.
was-
I remember using version 7 first.
Colin's here throwing down numbers. He said version 6 was the free version.
So I went ahead and made life easy on myself. I made this battlement the exact size of 2 of these pieces, thus the little overhang, which kind of looks cool. I don't dislike
Yeah,
that.
that's neat. I like that.
So there we go. That is battlements done.
Is there a good place to like dump over the cauldron of boiling oil?
I'm assuming that's at the front gate, so maybe we should do that next.
Okay. Well, you can always add that later. Nobody said you can't build a wall around the place, right?
That's right. That's true. But to leave these original lines intact, but I can do anything I want outside of it, right? Orhoon, or somebody acting as Orhoon,
Everin.
is asking how hard is SketchUp, and I say this 100% unbiasedly, like totally believe that SketchUp is the easiest way to draw in 3D. I think it's going to be the easiest way to learn how to draw something in 3D. So, for sure. So I think drawing in 3D can be difficult, but I think that's definitely one of the easier ways to do it is in SketchUp.
Yeah, I believe like whenever it first came out, or whenever Joe was originally working on the idea, the whole idea was, I think whenever he was brainstorming this, the intent of SketchUp was basically the equivalent of drawing on a napkin. And that's actually our marketing material for SketchUp 5 was kind of napkin, watermark, coffee stained napkin kind of stuff. But the whole idea was SketchUp is like having a napkin to sketch an idea down into 3D.
Yeah, and
that's
that was
where
the original drawings too, or the original installer was a cocktail napkin, wasn't it? With like a house logo sketched on it or something?
The original installer?
Like the
Like you just
CD,
placed
the CD
in-
case?
No, that was SketchUp 5 before we
Or-
actually did the napkin thing.
That's awesome. All right, so not to interject with what I'm actually modeling here. We can come back to that in a second. So I just drew out a shape that I want to do for half of an arch door. I want to have 2 of these. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to make a copy of it. Just copy that. And then I'm going to rotate a copy of this over to here and pull that back to create the archway door.
Andy posted an idea for doing the front
Oh, really?
on the forum post. Yeah, most recent image. Yeah, that's kind of a neat idea. It's got some steps going up to it. This little place to go up there and stand and look out at your people.
Guess we could do that. We could bump this up a touch, just a skosh. All right. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll bring this out. It'll also give us good oil pouring arc.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Do you Do you think a smidge is smaller or larger than a skosh?
Ooh, I try not to get into heavy topics like that. I try to keep it light
Oh,
and
okay. Sorry.
friendly here.
Maybe this isn't this isn't the proper venue for
No,
such a heady debate.
That's dangerous right there. All right, I'm going to come out of context, so out of the walls right now, and I'm going to say edit, paste in place. That's going to put that same 2D shape right in there. I'm going to just click on it and make it a component now. And I'm going to call it a half front door. All right, so in here, I'm going to do this similar, I think, to what I did with the hobbit hole door. I'm not going to model each individual piece. What I'm going to do instead is we'll come in here. We'll put a couple pieces like this. There we go. Pull that
I haven't
out.
seen Dave today. I'm thinking he must have started grilling early this week.
Dave. Oh, yeah. I'm offended now. Thanks for pointing that out.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. This always happens. I was
Dave.
putting my foot in my mouth.
All right, so this is 3 feet. So if I do a board every 6 feet, that should sound good. That should look good. Or 6 inches. So I'm going to come this way 6 inches. And then at 6 inches, I'm going to draw a teeny tiny little shape. That shape is going to look like didn't quite go the right. How long is this one?
Oh, holy cow. No. So Andy's over there suggesting another thought is you could model the door arch like the Notre Dame main doorways. And I'm looking at that and thinking I might kick Andy off the channel because
Not so much, he says. All right, let's try that again. I got out of plane there. So I'm going to come this way 1 inch. Then I'll go this way an inch. This way an inch. I'm just drawing a little triangle. I'm going to take that triangle, make it into a group. And then in that group, I'm going to push-pull that shape so it goes past the door. I'm going to take it then, and I'm going to move it in plane of the door 6 inches. And I'm going to do that 4 more times, 4 more times. All right. And then I'm going to take all of these, and I'm going to move
you said you already modeled it.
Perpendicular to this. So that's 1 inch in. So I don't want to go that far in. I'm going to go maybe 0.25 inches in. So just a little bit. I want to create a groove in the door that makes it look like they're separate pieces while keeping it all as one piece. So let's see how that works. And I want to do this twice. I should point that out too. All right, I'm going to get rid of this ground plane and put this, actually it may actually be on its own tag. Let's see. Landscape. Whew, somebody knew what they were doing. They're putting this thing together.
Professional, that guy.
That's what I've heard. Good looking too. All right, I'm going to take all of these, create a middle line right down there like that. Grab that, make a copy on the other side. Beautiful. Now, I can do the outside with solid tools. It's going to cause a problem if I use solid tools on the back. So on the front, I'm going to go to view solid tools. I'm going to say trim that from this. Do that backwards. Wait, let's try that again. Just make sure this is solid. 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 Okay. Grab my cutter, trim it from this piece. Wait. Why you say no? Trim. Oh no, subtract. This is subtract. That's what I was trying to do. Wrong button. All right, there we go. Click there, subtract. Click there, subtract. Click here. and subtract. And this one, guess what? Subtract.
Wait. Oh, dang it.
Sorry, I subtracted, in case you're wondering.
I had an idea.
Was it to subtract?
It was.
Okay. All right, so for this section, I think there's a couple ways I could think to do this. I'm going to hide the first floor too. And I can think of a couple ways to do this. I think what I might do is grab all of these pieces, scale them up to this board right here, and then make a copy, option, bring it down to here, scale that, so that's under the second board, and then move that copy down to here. So it's a lot of subtracting, but I think that ends up being easier than intersecting with all of it. The other thing I could do is grab all these pieces from right here, make them into a group, go into that group, explode those, and I can take this and subtract it from this. And there we go. Cool. So that's that door done. Push this back a little bit.
Okay. All right. This is working.
I like it. All right. So let's go turn some stuff back on.
If you build a gate, then you can put a portcullis in that. Andrew was saying maybe you could add a portcullis to this, but
that's the pointy bits that lock Robin Hood out of
portcullis is basically just the fancy gate that opens and like lifts up and down.
Isn't it spiky on the bottom so it can impale
so
people?
it can crush you if you get underneath it. Yeah.
All right.
Or probably more so they can actually go into the ground so that it's harder to grab the bottom and move it.
That probably makes sense.
Are we gonna start trying to? Are we gonna do Monday, or what are we thinking?
According to what I heard, nobody wants us to. So.
Nobody. No, actually, based on a bunch of people will say no matter what day. So that would say that 37.5% of the audience would come. Some of them would even come every day. But
I don't think I
think
would.
I'd get sick of this pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't think I like these guys enough to show up every day.
I think everybody's welcome to show up every day. Some days may be more boring than others.
Today I'm doing expense reports. Yeah. All right. I do want to get like kind of an offset piece here. So I'm going to just take this and I'm just going to offset that out. Yeah, just even 3 inches. Kind of to get that little bit of relief there. Oh, it's cool. I like that. Now I want to get some, I'm trying to remember the name of them. There's actually a term for those narrow windows.
Arrow slits.
Is that it? That doesn't sound as exciting as those.
That is certainly one of the things that those narrow windows are.
Okay.
There may be another word for narrow window. You could call them narrow windows too.
Yeah, that's less.
The ones that are often cross-shaped are literally arrow slits. Why do I know these things? Because I play tabletop role-playing games and we geek out on weird, nerdy stuff like that.
That's fair. So would you say an arrow slit on average is about 6 inches by 3 feet?
That sounds pretty good. But it's got to be low enough that someone can stand inside and shoot an arrow out of it.
That's what I figures. So if it's 7 feet tall, here I'm going to do it on this flat wall because this wall is perpendicular to.
Actually, it probably needs to be taller than, so someone has to climb up to it. I would think, right?
I don't know. We're breaking a lot of rules. This is not a super impenetrable.
Well, as mentioned previously, this just needs to be taller than a 14-year-old girl. So
that's true. Maybe there's just something icky in front of it. That'll keep them away. Oh, ickiness. All right. So I'm going to create that. I'm going to grab that, offset that 12 inches. Take this and bring it out Shoot, where did I bring that out? Did I bring out a full 6 inches? Let me check over here. 3. And I'll take this and I'll push this back to right there. Now I'm going to grab all of that.
Good news is no glass. Andrew pointed out that glass is expensive, so they save that for churches.
That's good thinking.
Because churches have all the money, I guess, or had the money back then. Wealthy benefactors and what have you.
That makes sense.
And Andy's given us a bunch of options for what to call this. You could call it an arrow slit, or an arrow loop, or a loophole, or a
loophole sounds funny because it means
balustraria.
something else.
Yeah, I know, right? The fanciest word is balustraria.
Nope, I'm out on that one. That's too hard.
Oh, yeah, the fact that I stumbled trying to say it is
That was rough.
telling.
All right, so let's see if I can. Actually, I don't even need to bring it in. I can just go Option, copy that over to the midpoint here. Option, copy that over to there. But that didn't cut it. I was actually just thinking how best to do this. And one of the issues, of course, is that it's not going to cut two faces. All I can do is get it to cut one. So I think what I'm going to do is create my geometry. I'm not even going to bother with the component. Am I? No, I'm not. So I'm actually just going to copy this geometry.
There's a great reference that Andy just put up at the end of the forum post.
Oh, it's better than this half-baked thing that we just made up based on absolutely nothing? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Factual reference is better than my imagination?
Probably. I don't know.
Odds are good.
I'm a fan of your imagination.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There's also some nice looking doors that Lawrence has been. A couple options for doors.
All right. Wow, you guys are a lot fancier than I am. I'm kind of a humble castle owner, to be honest, but you guys dig in deeper than I do.
Mike on Facebook makes a good point too, is on the inside, which maybe this doesn't matter because you're not really doing much on the inside, but if you have a bevel in there, then you can actually get off to the side and they can shoot at angles.
That is correct.
More
That's
easily.
one thing I do. That's a thing I do remember about these. Is that angle part?
Not that angle. That's not how this would work. That's clipping. You got clipping problems right now. This is no good for me.
Oh, I got problems. All right, there we go.
You should have made those components and have them cut, like set the cutting plane and all that stuff.
I guess I could have done that.
That's what they did in medieval times. Speaking of, have you ever been to medieval times?
I was just gonna say I've never been there.
I think I went for one in Dallas, like 20 years ago. I don't even know if they still exist. That was something. That was what I would call an experience.
Sounds general without being too rude.
I think, right? Yeah, that's something, isn't it?
That's really something. All right, so there we go. That gives me my angle as it comes out. I make it a little wider. Scaling about the middle. Let's go to 1.5, 1.5. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like it. All right, so I'm going to grab all of that. I know it's not going to cut, but I'm still just going to make it a component. Place it. I'm going to place it by this point on the bottom because I want to place all of these based on the span of the wall. So rather than have it up here and try to figure out where it's supposed to go to, if I use a spot on the bottom of the wall, it's going to ensure that they're all going to be vertically aligned at the top. That way, if I wanted to do something like come over to my components, grab my arrow slit, I could just go like this, find that midpoint, and place it right there. And of course,
that little line at the bottom it's messing with me, man.
Sorry, I did that just to break the geometry, so I had a midpoint here and here.
It's definitely breaking some geometry in my brain.
I'm sorry about that. It's gone. It's gone now. You can look.
Ah, brain's recovered.
All right. Let's take that. The midpoint option. Come over here.
Remember an hour ago when we started this?
I remember that. Remember like it was yesterday.
It's fascinating. Fascinating. That time flew.
All right, so now here we hit a thing. When I come to put it in here, I probably want to put 2 because of the width of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this end line, and I'm going to divide it into 2 pieces like that. That's going to let me bring it in like that. I really should modify this component so it snaps though, because this means every one of these I'll have to spin so it's in plane. I didn't think about that when I was creating it.
Man, probably hating yourself right now.
I feel like quite a, I don't like saying it, but kind of a silly head.
What a maroon, I believe Bugs Bunny would have said.
Yeah, he was rude, right? Bugs Bunny? Not a nice
He
guy.
was. So I learned something not too long ago. So I remember him making fun of Elmer Fudd, I guess. And he would call him a Nimrod, and he was always derogatory. And so I always grew up thinking Nimrod was like a bad thing. But Nimrod was like the god of the hunt, like the Greek god of the hunt or something like that. And he was making fun of Elmer Fudd because Elmer Fudd's make funnable. But
It's pretty easy
really,
to make fun of Elmer Fudd.
oh, he's a biblical figure. I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was gonna say,
Mighty
I remember-
Hunter.
Huh.
And Elmer Fudd was in fact not a mighty hunter. He was sort of inept.
He was kind of a tool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't
But
mean to offend
so,
anybody
that's
out
not
there
fair,
who
right?
was also a tool.
Or named Nimrod.
Yeah.
SketchUp is a tool. So
true.
what does that mean?
It's a good tool. All right, grab this line right here, divide it. Let's whoa, it's already broken. Guess I'll break it like that.
It's kind of quiet in chat.
I know.
Everybody's entranced by your every move.
Everyone's napping.
That could be that too.
Okay. All right, so there we go. So a couple ways I could go with these arrow slits from here. So obviously one thing I want to do is this inside, I want to actually, this is not ideal. Being able to see out of these is obviously where I want to go. So a couple things I could do. I could come into here, drop a rectangle right here, push this out. Oops, I went too far. There we go. Like that. That actually makes a hole that's bigger, but this piece fills it in. So I think that's probably the easiest solution. I can speed that up a little bit because I can put a rectangle like this. I can do an array here, 2x, and then just push that through to...
Since nobody's
How wide is
talking,
this wall? I don't even know how
then
this wall is. 6
you're-
inches.
you're also not remembering, although William just pointed out, you haven't saved in a little while, huh?
Saves. Real castle builders don't use saves. They live on the edge.
That's a good point.
All right, just about there. Two more, and then we move onward. Oh, no we don't. We do this one. Huzzah. All right. Let's let's talk about that entry. I like that idea. I think that could be kind of cool. So if we take this whole mess right here, let's move it forward by one full cubert. We'll call that a cubert. Take these out. I can put a whole nother one of these in here. Oops, nope, hold too much.
It's an interesting expression, whole nother.
Leather? What?
Whole nether is
Whole nother.
you basically stuck whole in the word in the middle of the word another.
Yeah, yes I did.
That's not a real thing.
Isn't it? No, it's probably really not. No, for real, Aaron, not a thing. All right.
I don't want to sound like a know-it-all because then I would out myself as, well, knowing it all. So I'm just going to say maybe.
Fair enough. All right. So this section, I'm going to step it up 2 feet. Ooh, that's looking kind of cool. All right, come here. I'm going to push this out to here. And then let's see. Let's have our platform. One thing I will let you all know is there was no OSHA. So I can make steps however I want. So I don't even want to hear it. I'm going to take
That's a good
this
point.
and divide it into 3 steps because that sounds about right. Whoop.
You can put a, well, Stuart was wondering about adding a flagpole for the standard. I don't know where you'd want to put the flagpole, but there's probably a place to put one on there, huh?
I think so. All right, there we go. So now we got some steppy. Wait, hold up. That's not right. That ain't right. Did I draw it at an angle? Looks okay on this side. Okay, just chill. Just chill. Everybody relax. Everything's cool. Yeah, something's angled because I can't push-pull either of these. Oh, there's your problem.
Huh.
All right, get back. Just get back in the wall. All right, let's try that again. These are broken. Don't like that. Is this broken? Is this one line? All right, so there we go. 3 lines. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this line because I know it's straight. Option copy it down to here, to X. Push pull this.
They didn't turn
2
into
foot.
profiles, so the face is good.
12 foot. That's butter.
12
All right.
inch.
Now, these guys.
Oh, I like
right
that little secret.
here. What's that?
Oh, I was going to say I like that little gappy spot. Kind of place
We
for the
can't have
cat to
that.
get in.
Bad guys will shoot you in the ankles. So I'm going to grab all this and make unique. The cool thing about group selecting and make unique is if you have multiple pieces that are selected at the same time when you hit make unique, they're all made unique together. So what I mean by that is these 4 pieces were all the same component. But when I hit make unique, it changed it so that those 4 pieces will get stretched down together.
So those pieces are all unique versions of one new unique component.
Right. Exactly. I don't know how that step's supposed to work, but that seems like it works to me. I don't know what's going on.
Looks just like the castle the castles I've built.
In fact, there's nothing different than the one that Jody built.
Here you go.
100% alignment. All right, move these down. Ooh, yeah, foreboding. Oh,
Well, kind of look like eyes. How there's the rays like that. Yeah.
It does.
Oh wait, no, it's not gonna. Ooh, no, I like that.
Now he's winking.
Yeah, or he's got a lazy eye.
Maybe we can make some cool detail here. Hold on, let's see. If I was to do,
It's the very angular version of the front of Castle Grayskull.
oh, Castle
Ooh.
Grayskull's the best. There we go. In fact, ooh, that's kind of cool looking. That's intimidating.
Oof. Don't make that guy mad.
Put that one back up. Back up to here. Yeah, that's cool. Actually, I want to check something out. I do. Sorry,
Wait, what's happening?
nothing to do with
Eating your Legos?
No. This is. Okay, I won't say better than Legos, but it's different from Legos. Because you mentioned it, I just had to pull it out. Oh, it's invisible.
No.
It's being green screened out. I have my Castle Grayskull from when I was a kid sitting in my garage. Lost so much detail since then. I remember it before it was see-through.
Ah, the good old days when things were
Apparently-
not transparent.
Yeah. I did not own a green screen when I was a child. All right. Moving on. This is kind of cool. I like the way this is coming together. All right. All right. What's all right, so a couple things. We're gonna need a way to get onto the different levels. So I need a small door. Maybe I'll do a little square door here, and then maybe one like here, and then maybe a trap door right here. Do they have?
Ooh.
When were spiral staircases invented? Is that a medieval thing?
I don't think circles existed until the Renaissance period.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, let's see. How tall is this? 9 feet still, same height.
The pictures that I saw have a lot of round towers at the corners, so I'm going to guess they probably had spiral staircases.
Okay. I'm going to do pretty much the same thing I did before. Take this, offset that by 12.
Would you believe that there's a website, spiral.uk.com, which is all about spiral staircases?
Nothing surprises me anymore when it comes to websites that exist.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I did not
Nope.
actually make this tower empty. So let me do that real quick.
So, according to spiral.uk.com, in the Old Testament there is a reference to spiral staircases being a feature in the Temple of Solomon, suggesting they're at least dating back to 1,000 years BC.
Wow. Honestly, no idea.
We've come a long way, though. Some of the newer ones look a lot cooler.
Andy Burley over on YouTube is more my kind of historian. He's asking how it compares to what's in Skyrim. Yeah, historically accurate, like Skyrim.
Obviously.
All right, I'm gonna do another door here.
Speaking of games, the Gates household may have picked up Minecraft Dungeons yesterday, and then Jody may have been playing that till 10 o'clock at night last night with his son.
My son just started playing that, I think, last night too. It's the new game on Xbox Game Pass.
Well, I guess it makes sense because Microsoft owns them, so they would stick them out there, make it quick. It's really funny as I open it up on our PS4, and the very first screen says developed Xbox Studios, and I was like, what? It was good fun though. We got it because it's one of the few games that is couch co-op. I can sit and play it with. Me and Jules can just sit and play it in the living room.
All right, there's a topic of discussion, totally unrelated to SketchUp. How come we can't do as many co-op as we used to? I used to love playing. It's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, everybody wants me to go online to do it, but then I have to talk to people online.
That is how it works. All right, I'm going to do this too. I'm going to grab these 3. Oh wait, is this no longer a... No, it is. Oh, so here's something. I want to grab these and place them into the wall up above from a reference point that's not here. So I actually want to, I'm going to temporarily just draw a line straight down like this and include that in the selection. Now I'm going to Control C to copy, come into my wall group. When I paste it and paste off on the side, grab it by that point and put it in there. I have to mess with a component and an axis or anything like that. Nailed it that time, Jody. Just makes it a little bit simpler to put that in there.
Well, we're losing Christoph.
Oh man.
All right. He's got.
Well,
it's not you. It's him.
I guess we'll just pack it in then. Alternatively, I had to use copy and paste because I was moving from one level to another. In this case, I'm actually not leaving context. So I could grab these two and made this geometry just as a reference for a move from point. So I can hit modifier key and move from this point to the midpoint here. And of course I do have to flip it. But there you go. That's nice and easy. I can get rid of that geometry. All right, and I think I maybe I'll go grab a fresh one, stick it right here.
Oh yeah, you could do normal windows upstairs. You don't have to do arrow slits. Lawrence pointed out, the king probably lives up there, and he wants a better view than a 6-inch tiny little peephole.
I think we already discussed that this is maybe a Duke at most.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that guy didn't need to see much.
This is like the king's version of camping or something like that.
There you go. There you go. Roughing it.
That's right. But this is where the arrows need to rain down from above. I don't know. I started the process.
The biggest risk here is you're going to rain arrows down on your staff, who is down on the first floor.
Well,
raining arrows down on.
If you're good staff, you get to move up the building. This is where the new guys work.
Promotion is literally moving up in the company.
Yep. I'm going to move you vertically. 2nd floor. Woo! All right. Yes, let's keep this going. I'm going to make a door. These were 7 foot by 3 foot. So I tend to do this. I don't know if anybody else does. No, let's not do it that way. Let's do it this way. So I'm going to make this 3 foot, comma, 3 inches, something like that. Okay. So last time I used solid tools to go in and cut the slits out of there. In this case, I'm going to actually start with this. So I'm going to come in. I just did 0.25. There we go. Go this way. 0.25.
I kind of like Andy's idea here. He thinks the main tower could be several stories higher with a spiral staircase.
Oh.
So if you have a square tower and you have stairs going up around the inner perimeter to the top, but it's square, is it still a spiral staircase?
Are we talking about
spiral
perhaps
need to be
a squircle? It's squircular?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
I'm going to take this shape and just copy it over here. That way, that's easier than going through and deleting all these little pieces like that. And then I can just triple click and delete that. And
look at that, life hack.
Pull that up. It's kind of what we're all about here, right? 7 feet. And I guess I do need to do some filling in if I want to come in here. I guess it doesn't matter too much. Let's see, we go 6, comma 36. Pull this out 1 inch. and then just pull it across like that. Grab that, move that down. Oh, 3 foot. I did not set it to cubits, so I'm ballparking some of these measurements. That was my one worry right there. I think if I get rid of that line and that line, I should be able to orient faces properly. Nope, not so simple, pal. Tried to shortcut the process. Not gonna happen. Okay. Make that into a new component.
Do you have you ever made a model that ended up in Google Earth?
I did not. I didn't actually use a whole lot of
Earth?
Yeah, I really never
Google
got into it.
SketchUp?
All the stuff I was using was kind of for my own reference.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what happened. Like, I think Google acquired SketchUp thinking, oh, everybody's going to model their house and put it in Google Earth. And then nobody did.
I do remember
Everybody's
meeting
like-
with some SketchUp folks. I don't remember who it was, but they encouraged me to do that. I think it was Scott, maybe. I can't remember who it was, but like, yeah, I'm working on my hometown. You should do it too.
Everybody's doing it.
I didn't do it. So, sorry.
You're not everyone.
All right. Looking at more reference images. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, I gotta do this. Well, I don't know. I like my fangs right here, but I really like the extrusions on Jono's drawing there. So I might have to come in and just see what it looks like.
Let me go look. Wait, which part? Oh, the coming out. Yeah. That's not a
it
drawing.
looked
That's a
foreboding.
photo. It does. Something about this castle reminds me of like the castles in Beastmaster, one of my favorite childhood movies.
That's a great that just came free on something. One of the streaming
Did it?
services just picked up Beastmaster again. Yeah.
I think that's probably why I have owned ferrets in my past. I do not own them now because apparently I thought they were hypoallergenic, but they are in fact not.
I have never gotten behind the ferret thing because that musk, I think, is what ferret owners call it.
So they have personality. They have a lot of personality. Like they crank personality to 11. Cats, psh, boring. Just saying.
I
know if you're
don't
a cat
dislike
person.
them. It's definitely not a negative thing, but I just, even visiting them in the store, I'm like, oh, that's an odor.
Yeah, you'll notice I didn't immediately step up and defend that odor because
Well, yeah, you would have to be, that would be just straight up denial.
It's a good thing William's here because I think he is the last person to drop the S word.
Smurfs?
Smurfs, exactly.
Boom.
Uh,
Saved.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Aaron saves.
Okay, so 2 foot by 2 foot small, but I guess we could go a little bit bigger than that, right?
You can do whatever you want. This is your house.
That's true. All right, there's 2'6". Go in context. Ooh, that's gonna be an issue. Forgot my wall, my roof cantilevered out, so I'll pull that this way, 6, 6, and then push it back this way, 6, 6. Okay, there we go. A 2'6" hole.
So a cubit is 18 inches, a technical cubit, which does not match up with your numbers there. But that's just I'm mentioning that as a data point. You be you.
That is information I am more than happy to ignore.
Thanks for telling me. I don't care.
Perfect. We agree. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna draw my profile in place. I'm gonna cut my little. Actually, you know what I could do? I'm gonna just grab this guy right here. Whoops! Wait a minute. Why is that going through the? Oh, because I made these 6 feet tall. Oops.
I missed the text at the bottom of John O's post that said there was a castle set they built for Netflix last year. So now I got to know what it's for.
Great. So I built that based on total inaccuracy. I see.
I don't think. Are you saying Netflix is totally inaccurate?
Well, it's not a real castle, is it?
I'm going to guess that he did this for The Witcher. Any other guesses? What other castle shows have showed up on Netflix recently?
That's about it, isn't it?
I don't keep myself well informed.
There's a lot of Netflix out there, so
there's a lot. There's only so many hours in my day.
I know. But you know, I got bored of TV.
What? Oh, Last Kingdom. That could be one too.
Okay.
Bored of TV. You should drop that without a little follow up.
I don't know.
You only watch things on.
I'm getting to that point
reality.
where everything is kind of meh, you know?
Oh, just general apathy.
Yeah.
Malaise.
Well, it was interesting because I was talking about yesterday. I'm like, I feel anxious, like I want to do something, but I have this just general lethargy where I'm like, everything sounds dumb and boring. So that's where I'm at.
Maybe you're dumb and boring.
Maybe that's it. That could be very, very, very possible. Okay, so my castle house is looking pretty sweet. I gotta say, for being hour and 20 minutes in. Let's moat this thing. So I think I'll just kind of do just a general moat around it, and then we'll build like a.
Still haven't done your flagpole yet.
A wall with a. Well, that's gotta be the last thing. You can't put a flag up on a.
Okay.
Something still
Sort
being
of like
built,
when
right?
you land on. Yeah, when you land on Mars or when you land on the moon. I guess we haven't landed on Mars yet. Getting ahead of myself.
So, well, when I do land on Mars, I will remember that.
Flag. Land the flag last.
That's right.
Okay,
right,
so a moat.
Yes, I'm going to start by making. This is absolutely not a requirement. This is just something I like doing, is to make this a solid. I can't stand when I got the ground going in, to non-space below it. So there we go. I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to use my smooth tool to create a moat shape. So I'm going to save.
I want to point out for those following along at home that you actually just used the rectangle tool to draw a rectangle rather than the pencil.
I did.
Huh?
I did. I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I grow. I've grown. I'm big. Actually, here's something I am going to do.
Oh, I must have been looking at something else, and you were trying to remember what the word drawbridge was. Maybe. The thing that goes over the moat. Oh, okay.
No, I was the structure that goes on the outside of it, like a portcullis type of thingy.
So the portcullis is the gate.
Right.
You mean
So
just
what would be if
like
it's
the
just
outer
a
castle wall kind of thing?
Yeah. So if I just built like a, and this may be just me scoffing in the face of castle experts, but if I was just to build like a standalone wall out here, which all it did was house that, would that be like totally ridiculous?
Those are the battlements. Those things that are out there, I think.
Okay.
No, battlements are the top of walls. They're just called castle walls, man. Castle
What if it
walls.
wasn't actually a wall going all the way around? It was just that one piece.
You know
what I'm
just
saying?
like you could walk around it.
Yeah, like so if I came out here And I just said, okay,
Gatehouse.
I'm going to,
You can call it gatehouse.
there we go. Yeah. So just say it was just something like this, right? So I just did this like that, and then just had my drawbridge in it. That was it.
I'm actually building one of those at the end of my driveway right now.
Oh, are you going to put a, I just have this idea for this having a electric garage door opener connected to it where the king can just go chirp, chirp. Yeah, okay, good.
Andy said a drawbridge would actually have a tower on either side, I guess regardless of that wall.
Sweet. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So there's a couple ways I can go about this. So I'm going to save. I'm going to go into my tool palettes and open up my sandbox. So the smooth tool, which is not only one of the coolest sounding tools, but one of the most fun to use. I missed it. Oh, I'm not in context. There we go. The smooth tool will let me take a section and move it up or down. So this is one way to do it. I could just kind of buzz through here and just start creating my indentation all the way around. That would work. That would be a good way to do it. Another way to do it, and honestly, I have mixed success with this, because one of the things you can do is you can grab pre-select geometry. So I could come in here and kind of use the select tool to select the shapes where I want to drop the ground for my moat. And so I'm sort of setting this up like a disclaimer, because I have run into issues with this, which I may run into right now, as far as hitting a lot of lag when I try to do this. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to hit the smooth tool, and then I just want to push it down. That wasn't so bad at all. Boom.
So Munch is asking, why does scaling a component not change other instances?
Because you're looking at two things there. The outside is when you select a component and you scale it, you're actually scaling the container that the geometry is in. So you're actually stretching it. If you go inside, if I double click to enter component and then grab geometry and change it, it'll change throughout. So it's kind of it makes components that much more useful, because you can if that geometry is scalable from the outside, you can use a single component and make those changes.
It's really
That's a
handy
good
for
question.
trees.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna grab all that, and I'm gonna come over here and smooth it. See how that looks? It's okay. It's okay. A little blocky. So what I might do, what I may do in a situation like this, is to grab some of this geometry. So maybe like very similar to the same geometry I grabbed before. I might come around like this. I'm intentionally not being precise with this, because when you model organic, precision's not a thing, right? Organic is a mess. Organic is the opposite of structured, beautiful polygon type geometry. So I'm going to grab some stuff like that, and I don't know why I really like closing tool palettes. It's like a reflex. I'm going to add detail to this. Is that it? So what detail is going to do is it's going to go in and take each of those polygons, or each of those quad type shapes, and double the geometry. So that broke it up even more. So now what I could do, and I'm not going to beat this to death, but what I would probably end up doing now is coming in with a smaller than 10-foot radius, maybe drop it down like 6 foot, and I come in here and I would probably start smoothing out that geometry, adding some irregularities to the bottom here. I have this really super flat ground here. I would just come around, do this all the way around, trying to get more of a natural look to all these shapes. And I probably, as I'm doing this, as I'm going around here, I probably wouldn't stick with just one brush size either. I might make one pass around here with the 6 foot like this, and then maybe dive right back in with a, you know, smaller 3 foot brush, and I'm calling it a brush because that's kind of what it is. I don't know. I don't know that we actually have an official term for what we call this. But I might go through with this and then maybe go with, you know, 8 foot or drop down to 4 foot, just to break up the regularity of the shapes I'm creating. There we go. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to beat this to death, but there's a couple spots. Oh, look at this. Oh, come on. That was not dug by the peasants. That's way too straight and beautiful. That doesn't look like it was.
I like how you suggest that the peasants could not create a precise line like that.
Well, I mean, they're good for a lot of stuff, but I mean, come on. That straight up looks like I had a backhoe working back there.
That's a good point. I mean, I don't have any basis for this. I wonder if they're more likely to have a bit of a berm on the inner edge or have the inner kind of island a little bit higher so that the moat doesn't get overfilled and like flood your house.
I imagine. And I want to, yeah, let's get this castle into its landscape as well. Let's pull this up a little bit around the edges. Ooh, it's looking good. I hope I win the challenge. I get to be on the live next week.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I heard that Aaron and Jody are pretty cool to talk to.
I don't know. Guys are kind of full of themselves, I think.
Well, yeah, but for good reason.
Cool.
Well, this is good. Yeah, 14-year-old girls are not getting up to that place.
No chance. That's like
swim.
Totally not worth it. Cool. I do have to soften and smooth that again because after I broke that. All right, but there we go.
Then you have to fill the moat with sharks with lasers.
One of my kids made a comment about sharks with lasers. I'm like, you don't even know where that came from, do you?
Did they
freaking
elaborate on where they got
lasers? What's that?
Did they elaborate on where they got it?
No, I think it's just one of those things you hear, you know? It's just, I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
It
I mean,
funny,
at this
though.
point, it's real. It's a real thing.
Oh,
Probably.
Great. Probably. Maybe. Somewhere. Could be.
Oh, Andy pointed out, this is another good one. In addition to being raised, is you want the inner edge of the moat to be raised so it's harder to get out of it once you're in there. You can just roll your stuff through the middle.
Could you also, like, coat it with Vaseline or something? So
obviously.
It's slippery.
Andy did post a picture, a drawbridge idea on the forum post. If you want to see how he's got it set up.
Yeah, see, that's what I was just thinking, because I'm like, wow, you know what? To get across this tiny moat, look at this thing. This is what I would have to have here. That's really going to obscure the view of who's coming towards your castle.
Good luck. I think there's
invaders are coming.
I'm not sure.
I don't see them.
Well, they probably had security cameras, like a Nest camera or something like that, on the tower gate, the gate.
Okay, so we could bring it out like that-ish, and then so we would want it to maybe stop, like drop this vertically to so right there-ish. That's pretty wide. It's a very, very wide drawbridge. Let's shrink that down. All right, so if we had that, we drop that to horizontal. We would just have to have some sort of receiving geometry over here. Okay, cool. We can make this work. I'm learning so many things.
And he said the fix with this would you just put a big hole in the middle of the drawbridge. That way you could see what's on the other side.
A window.
Makes sense. Well, but not a glass window because, again, churches.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Just line that up with the middle. All right, I'm not gonna put detail in here just yet. I'm just gonna make this a nice sturdy plank right now. And then we'll come over, so I'm gonna go something like this. Do a vertical thing like that. Let's see.
So Stuart on YouTube said the 8-foot deep moat would need 7 feet of mud and a few shopping carts and bicycle frames all down in there. Maybe a mattress, couch.
So obviously you are a castle designer in Longmont, Colorado. Because I think I've seen some of the work you're referring to. All right, so something like that is what we're looking at. Maybe I'll just put that up ever so slightly. Bump this up vertically. And here's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, all you need is like a little tiny gap, and then no pallet jacks will ever get across that. That's for sure. Sorry. Carry on.
I want to make sure that the
Sharks can swim through
crocodiles
there.
are able to swim through here. So I'm gonna put.
So if you put arrow slits down there, they would be harpoon slits, I guess.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. All right, there we go. Factually accurate. That's exactly how they built it back in ye old-timey times. Also a very factually accurate term. Ye old-timey.
I thought old timey was just like 1920s, 1930s.
Well, yeah, that's when castles are from, aren't they?
That's what I learned from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" is what defined it.
I don't remember castles in that. You might be wrong.
Oh.
All right, so there we go. All right, so there's my receiving. I don't know. You know what? I like that, but it does make me want to push this down deeper. Because let's see, how deep are we right now? So if I look at this, if I come up 6 feet, I want to push it down a little bit deeper, especially around this. So maybe I'll just come in here. Close it again.
You're working with all these non-square shapes. I would probably save a little more frequently than you do.
Nothing. I really appreciate. So I got to give total credit. I was joking about having prepped the model for this, and really, I didn't actually come up with this original shape. This was actually created by Casey Grothis in our office. He actually had the idea for this entire thing. So I literally took his model, threw a couple tags on it, and posted it to the warehouse. That was my contribution. So this was his model, and it really is cool. The thing I like about it the most, it's an unusual shape, but the part that I chose as the entry, everything's at 45 degrees. So I'm having issues with my snaps.
Aw, snap.
Oh yeah, you got it.
At least everything isn't at 37.5 degrees. That would be...
That's true. 45 is better than that. That would just be, I'd walk out of here. Can't work like this. Sweet. Okay, that's that thing. And now we want to create 2 foot. I have no idea. See if these look too small. Just going by aesthetically pleasing rather than actual any actual member sizes that make any kind of sense. We'll go up to the same height as we got there. Awesome.
Colin and Andy are both wondering why you don't just change the model axis. Seems like...
Because
seems rational.
Suffering makes you stronger.
That's true.
How's that?
I don't think nature was alive during the medieval time, though.
That's probably true. Okie doke. All right, that's going to work. Except, I believe the way this should all work is that this.
Andy's calling me out for saying axis instead of axes. I think I'm right. It's the model axis.
Oh man, are you telling me there's a difference? Because I'm just starting to say axis.
It's axis. It's what it says. It's what it actually typed. It's how you type it.
Oh, yeah, because the English language always works that way.
This guy's really cruising for a kicking drawbridge. I like it.
I would like to blame that on it being Friday, but I think we all know the truth about my spelling skills. All right, so this piece, I believe, I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to do some more work on here, so I'm going to set my axis, maybe. I don't even know what to believe anymore. I don't even know what this thing is called. Okay. Sink them in.
I know the difference between an axis and an axes. Just talking about when you set it. As an entity, it's called an axis.
There's a whole argument happening right now.
There is. This is rough.
It's not easy. It's just not easy.
Being green?
Got the whole world against you, see? No, that's being mean. All right, so it's cut rate, but that's the beginning of my tower right there. Oh dear, that's not going to work. All right, so in case you haven't picked up on this, when you come in to rotate, you can use the arrow keys to go to green, red, blue, but this axis right here that I wanted to go along is I actually want to use this as my pivot point. So if I click on one end and drag along, you see it aligns my protractor to that edge. So then I can so I click and then drag and then release, and now I can actually bring this down like that. Looks okay, but I feel like I need some more details. Let's see. Let's see if I can borrow something. Let's grab one of these guys. Maybe this might work. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, me either.
It does. I feel a little better.
Good.
Ooh. See if this looks. See if this is too much. Is this too heavy? This one can't be here anyhow. I just have to do it on the outside. Look like cell towers. All right, kind of like it. I kind of like it.
Oh, so maybe this would work. Okay, so Mike said arch at the top. So if you put an arch at the top of the tower, then you'll be able to see through that. And that way, you'll know who's in front of the gate or the drawbridge.
See, this is why I'm such a big fan of group design. Nope, I can see over this. I can.
Again,
here.
Nest camera.
I can use it.
Modern times.
That's right. Duh. Let's stand here and look off over the drawbridge. How tall am I?
I wonder what my HOA says about moats. I have to look into this.
Good thing you live in Longmont, not Boulder. You might be able to get away with that.
That's true.
All right. vertical. There we go. Cool. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's all coming together. All right, I gotta do something about this though. This is the lack of detail on this slab right here is bugging me. Yeah, I was also thinking about, that's why I positioned some of the stuff the way I did, because what could happen here is I could put a hole through this tower back to here where I could actually have chain thingies.
Thingies,
Spools?
yeah. Hey, you're
Spools?
right. Yeah. Yeah,
Chain thingies.
exactly.
Yeah, so I could actually put a chain through here to here, so you could, from inside the tower, lower or raise the drawbridge. Or I could put a little motor down here with the remote control.
So I just want to say, repeat this because it sounds smart.
That's why I say a lot of things.
Andrew suggested a curtainary chain to hoist the bridge. I just wanted to say curtainary.
You said it.
Non-structural, I guess, based on the previous curtain wall being non-structural comments.
Okay. Okay.
That's all. That's all. Carry on.
Well, now you've said it, so there we go.
I don't know where to go with this. I just feel like there's going to be kind of an awkward pause here for a moment, so I'm just going to let that hover. Oh, good. How long is officially an awkward pause? At what point does it just become dead space?
I'm sorry, I was doing numbers.
Math.
That wasn't even math. I was just trying to type in number 12 and number 8.
I was just numbering.
Wasn't even mathing, just numbering. All right, so this one, I'm just going to pull these across like that. I was trying to figure out what way the lumber should run in this, and I figured this way because then as you're going across, to go da-dunk, 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 which made sense for a drawbridge. See?
Capstan. Everybody's dropping the word capstan for the thing to hold your winches. Winches also a medieval term.
Winch? Wench? To the winch, wench.
So you've been here long enough. Have you made your way down to the medieval fair at any point? Since we're
I never
talking
have.
castles?
Never been there.
I feel like you're missing out. No medieval times, no medieval fair.
Guess I just don't do that kind of thing. Not intentionally, just
So-
like I said, haven't got there. So I'm sorry, real quick. Talk about what I'm doing real quick, and then we can go back to medieval things. To get these same boards on the other side, I'm just going to copy half of it, and then
Flip it.
flip it. Oops, didn't get the center there. Just arbitrarily picked a point apparently.
So James would like to know, when you're modeling a group, go into a group to modify, how do you hide the rest of your geometry?
I have a shortcut key mapped to hide rest of geometry. I don't like that didn't close. Hold on. I'm so distracted. Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey now. Undo. So right here, if I go to component edit under view, I have an option for hide rest of model. I just have a shortcut key mapped on my mouse, so I can just click that to turn everything on and off. I don't like, something didn't happen good there, so I may have, I don't think it's, it's not straight up. Okay, so I'm gonna grab all of this.
If you just had everything colored by axes.
That is exactly where I was
Dang it.
gonna go.
That's it. I'm kicking Andy off. I'm kicking Colin off. These guys, they've made me so self-conscious about my axis problems.
They're a pair of axes, aren't they?
Yeah, real. I'm not going to go there. I know we've got some.
See if I
younger
color
folk
by
in the audience here today.
axis.
See, that looks good. Oh, but look
Yeah,
at that.
I
On the
split-
outside edge, that they're not blue.
Right. So what I got to do is I got to grab all this. I got to take this line, put it on the blue, which will take the back edge off the blue, which I'm okay with, because then I can just go grab this, new straight up line, push that through to the other side. There we go. And now I can grab all that. Let's try this one more time. This is where I was trying to go to begin. Remember I was going to do this as a time saver?
I'm really good at dramatically lengthening how long it takes me to do a thing by
That's right.
speeding it up.
I think it's called a time absorber if you're not actually saving time.
So my favorite part about this bridge you just made is now whenever you drive across it or push your pram across it, it's just going to be all ka-tonk, ka-tonk, ka-tonk with each of the boards.
That's right. That's
rather than
exactly
being
why
longitudinal.
I went the direction I did, because I wanted ka-tonk ka-tonk.
Nice. Okay. All right. So Brad and Munch both suggested making the drawbridge into a DC so that you could click it and it would go up and down.
Okay, I can get behind that. Let me get it in the right spot real quick. I like that. All right, we're going to raise the ground up a little bit over here. Maybe I'll do something like this. That looks good. I like that. But maybe, like I was saying, maybe I'll come over here and draw. Here we go, perpendicular. And here, put a rectangle right there, because I know how to draw rectangles. I do it all the time. Then we'll pull this out like this.
You might save right about now. Maybe, I don't know.
I might. Okay. Snap. Perpendicular. There we go. No, why is it? This is weird. It's not breaking my geometry. Okay, let me realign my axis. Yeah, half my axes are off. Well, why?
This is really, things are they're just going crazy.
Stuff is just deciding what to do. Okay, get rid of all this and take just this rectangle. I think unfortunately, I just have a lot of geometry that is just not where it's supposed to be. So it's kind of arbitrarily drawing stuff, and now I'm trying to snap it to an angle that's it was never really designed to follow. All right, so now I come across here like this. It's still not working. I'm still off of the axis here.
That is weird. I'm gonna be honest, it's weird.
Oh, it goes like this. I see. Okay, I got to figure it out now. I was you know what? Oh, all right. I'm gonna come down vertically.
So I'm curious how many people at home ever use the color by axis to try and get themselves back out of trouble like this.
I was off on every axis. So my problem wasn't that I wasn't aligned to the green axis this way. It was this way. I didn't actually have a straight line. That's why every time I drew a line across, it didn't break the surface, because I was drawing a line parallel to the green axis here, and that line was not there. I did all of that just to go like this and push this little ramp down like that. That's all I really wanted. Oh, that's it.
I'd like the color by axis, but sometimes, like when I forget to turn it off, I'm just like, oh, this is
ramp.
These colors are very, very strong.
Yeah, they do come.
And they're
come after
very
you.
SketchUp-y. Like I I would almost call some stuff SketchUp green or green axis green or something.
Oh, look at this. Somehow, even my rectangles here aren't on axis. They're not blue. So that means I drew them not flat. They're actually at some kind of an angle. Ooh, it's getting rough. Time to wrap this thing up and call it a weekend. All right, so let's do this. Let's take this piece right here, make it a component. We're going to call it Drawbridge. Save. All right, I'm going to select this Drawbridge. First thing I'm going to do before I do anything else, I am going to come in here and set my axis right here. Super important thing, if you watch any of those dynamic component videos, that point, everything is based off of that. It's going to rotate around that point. If I move stuff, it's going to move based on this point. So this is really very important. All right, so once I've done that, I'm inside the Drawbridge component. I'm going to grab my geometry and make it a new component and call this the, well, I'll just call it the bridge.
Sounds like a good word for it.
Now, if I come out here, I select on the outside shell, dynamic components, and let's bring up our attributes. And actually, we won't even have an option, so we'll just make this just straight attributes. All right, so see now I have, this is my outer container, and then inside I have this bridge piece. So I'm going to add one attribute, and I'm going to call this location.
So you opted to go with the making a dynamic component rather than trying to make everything look like Dr. Seuss model.
Alas.
I see what you're doing. I mean, you picked the lesser of two evils.
That I did. All right, so my location currently is going to be set to 0. I'm thinking there's actually a couple different ways I could do this. So I'm going to, wait. I want to rotate around the green axis. So that's going to be a set of value for my rotation Y. Zero. Enter. Oh, okay. I just didn't do exactly what I said I need to do. All right, so I want to make sure that I check my axis of the actual geometry is down here. So I'm going to move my axis to the same location it is on the parent. Yes. All right, so now it's saying it's rotated 45 degrees. I'm wondering why that is. So if I go to positive 45, nope. If I rotate it to 90 degrees, negative 90. 0. Where's 0? Negative 180.
If this works on the first try, ...
I stumble over rotation angles constantly. I'll just be told, oh, it's because it's backwards. It's like this. I was looking at it like this, but we're actually rotating it like this. So I want it to be negative 45 is there. So this would be vertical would be negative 90. Okay, because rotating this way. So if I look at it, if I look down the axis, my thumb pointing to me, going palm-wise is going to be positive, going back is going to be negative. So I want it negative 90 is vertical, and then 0 should be flat. Boom. Okay. So I'm going to come up here. I actually don't need this attribute. I don't need the location attribute. I can just force it down below. So I can say, nope, I do need that. So I'm going to add a location value, and I'm going to add an on-click value. So I'm going to say set location, comma 0, comma 1. I think that's going to work. So now if I come in here to Tools, and I go to Interact, Where's interact? Oop, there it is. If I come in here and click on this, oop, I gotta get out of context. So if I come in here with interact right now, oops. Now Siri's getting in on the whole thing. Okay. You guys might have to help me here. There you go. 0. So now if I go interact, click here. There we go. See how it's toggling now when I click on it? It says 0, 1 as I click on it. That's the correct on-click method. So right now, as I click it, this location is just basically a status flag. So where is it? It's at 0 or it's at 1. Now what we do to hook that up, I come to rotation right here and I say if location, whoops, equals, if location, I think I need a equals 0, comma 0, comma 90. All right, let's see if that works. I want to make sure it's right before I explain to you what I just did. Oh, negative 90. Whoops. Because it's, remember, rule of the hand goes backwards. Interact, up, down. Okay, so what we did, what that code says, so equals means it's going to be a value. So I'm going to have a value, but that value is calculated by this if-then statement. So I said if, and then I put brackets in there, drawbridge, exclamation location. So this component's value equals 0, then use 0. If not, use negative 90. So it's just a quick, simple if-then statement. So then all I have to do is come out here, interact, click to go up, click to go down. Just that easy. All right. That was a good idea. I like that. And it actually worked.
I love it when a plan comes together.
No. Oh no, was that UI behind my head the whole time?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, let me show you one more time.
My view is never that view.
See, when I'm head down like this, I don't think to look up. Yeah, you're right. See this? I'm gonna weatherman this thing. I'm gonna point to exactly where. Okay, so what I did, just run through that real quick one more time. So I have two items. The outside item is my entire component. So that's the whole thing. Inside that component, I have one component, which is the actual bridge itself. So on the outside, I have on-click behavior. That just says, if you click on it with the interact tool, do this. And the only thing I said was, if clicked, change the value in this location field between 1 and 0. Then in the bridge, so in the inside component, I said rotation Y. Here, let's turn on the code view. So rather than, it says if drawbridge location flag, that's this one right here, equals 0, then put it at 0. Otherwise, put it at negative 90. So if it's anything other than 0, so if I come in here and I type in 34, it's going to go to 90. But of course, using the interact tool is not going to go to 34. It's just going to toggle between 1 and 0. Simple. Once I thought through how to do it. I really like dynamic components. I've done a couple videos on them. I don't do them live a lot because I don't always remember exactly how, I don't use them often enough to remember exactly how every piece works. So a lot of times I fumble over it, but that's okay. That one worked all right.
So on Facebook, Ollie is wondering if you could make the animation look more rotation or swing, not just
Yes,
start point and end point.
because I could come in here and replace. I'm gonna have to this. I might fumble a little bit here, but I think I can replace my if with animate. No, that's not right.
Something like that.
Animate. Oops.
Emanate. You got to spell it right.
Is that right? No, that's not right either.
I don't.
Anytime you get this little hashtag, that's red hashtag equals bad.
Hashtag bad.
Yeah, there is a way, but I don't remember.
Oh, actually, animate slow. Epix 3D posted this a little while ago. Animate slow, location 04590. Capital S. Look in the chat. He's not very far up in the chat there.
Okay, so I still have to do the if.
He didn't have an if around it, although.
Right, but if I don't have an if statement, then it's not.
Oh yeah.
Animate slow. Like that? No, that's not it either.
Andy said he thinks you need to put the animate on the 0 and the -90 bits as well. Like on each of the values. I don't know.
That doesn't sound right, but I'll try. I'll try anything.
I'm just repeating what everybody else says.
No, that's not it either. I put the values in their own thing.
Oh, he said not as well. Either or. Saying here, I don't know if it'll work exactly the way that Epix 3 typed it, but
Still not
if you look in chat.
I'm watching chat.
Is where you want to put it. Oh,
All right. Location equals 0. Got that.
is there case sensitivity there? Does that matter?
Not for that, because it's the name of this. So it's however I typed this. Oh, can I just have it here, you're saying? Just say on click. Oh, okay, hold up. Animate slow.
Rotation green equals 0, or I mean equals location. See, this is where it starts to get tricky with DCs.
Oh yeah, this is where I was saying. This is where I end up having to just poke at it for a little while to remember exactly how. And I usually, actually, a lot of times I end up over on the knowledge base to read through the different options we have there.
Ooh, okay. Do you see Brad's post
Okay.
there? Brad,
Yeah, so-
looks like he put it all there.
All right, so animate location, comma 0, comma 90. Whoops. Hold on. Animate location comma 0, comma 90, comma negative 90. That's accepted. And then rotation is equal to whatever the location is set to. Oh, but because, so the reason it didn't accept that is because it doesn't actually have a field called location, the bridge. The field called location is actually up here, which is drawbridge exclamation point location. That was a problem there. All right, so let's see how that works.
Nice.
Well, it goes up.
Well,
you know what you need to do? You need to turn that little screw on the motor. That's the problem right now. Travel limits are off.
Dope.
It's this thing. Location, comma 0, because it's creating this new thing. Is it equal? No, it's not equal. It's always comma.
Epix 3D said animate slow will make the smooth animation.
Yeah, but some value is still not, it's not setting right because it's creating this new custom entity, which is wrong.
Fine.
Yeah, and then it's toggling this new entity between 0 and 90. Let's see if this. There we go. And we have rotation.
Boom.
So what I ended up doing, just in case anybody was not paying attention to the mucking about, sounds like an old-timey term, actually changed the method to do this, because what I ended up doing was this didn't just set the value here. Actually, I could probably even just rather skip the location and have it go directly. So I think I could actually do this and get the same functionality. Let's test. So I can actually skip this whole location value. Oops. Get rid of that altogether. Huh, still wants that location. So if I make this, I'm just curious, equal to this, it's just a number.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what dynamic components and programming in general is all about.
That's right, testing and retesting. So that means I can actually get rid of this value altogether. Because what I did was I just cut it all out. I just said on click, animate, and we have fast and slow. And I think there's just animate too. But I believe most of them are so quick you don't really see it. So it says animate, toggling bridge location between 0 and negative 90. So basically set this value to 0. Then when you click again, set it to negative 90 and show the animation between those two. So I skipped the idea of having a container value that this went back and checked for. There we go. And also get rid of this.
And now you need to add some water to your moat because it's really
Water
kind of a
sounds
boring
It is.
dry moat.
Okay, so let's do that real quick. Let's save, because that's what I do. All right, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to draw a square that is smaller than this piece. I'm going to slide it over, see if it's big enough to cover. Yep, almost.
Got a little flooding going on. Heavy rain.
A little bit, All right, and then I'm just going to take that and move it vertically down into the moat. Looks good. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to color this. We'll give this a nice tealy color with maybe a like a 30% opacity.
I feel like a moat would really be a bit more brackish.
Like this.
Yeah, there you go.
I think we need to pump some sewer water in there.
When I was a kid, that's kind of what our swimming pool would look like in January if we didn't drain the pool.
Ew. That offends me.
It was fun in the spring because we would get baby frogs and all kinds of fun little stuff growing there.
Well, yeah, but maybe we can hit just a little bit more greenish. That's kind of whimsical. I like that a little better.
That definitely is a little more Dr. Seussian.
It does not feel like I'm going to need a tetanus shot if I dip my toe in the moat.
Yeah, especially if you don't step on the shopping cart that's mired in the muck at the bottom.
We're going to need some stuff to scratch some people up when they step in the tetanus water.
That's right.
All right. Well, you know what? I feel pretty good about this. I feel like this is the spot to stop. Hey, wait. Come on in. Oh, except we didn't do one thing.
Oh, flag.
Flagpole.
Flag it.
Whoa. Whoa. Really proud. All right. Let me give this just a touch of a taper.
And the flag's only at the bottom until Mario jumps on the pole and grabs it and raises the flag.
Doodaloo. You know it. All right, so I'm going to draw a line down like that. All right. Okay. I'm going to draw a line. Let's start like this. Super boring flag, right? No shape at all. Just to get some geometry to work with.
It's like a moon flag.
Yeah, that's right. It's because it's got wires in there. Done.
Yeah.
All right. And now, let's see. I'm going to go, let's just do this. I'm just going to go to this end, about halfway down. Draw a little arc that way. Draw a little arc this way. Grab both those lines. Use push line to drag that straight down.
That's okay. It's not happening the way I want it to happen.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We got there.
There's other ways. There's more than one way to make a flag, Jody. You're right. And if we wanted
Andy's throwing
to,
out true bend as a extension option.
make that a group. Go into extensions and did I install True Bend? Oh, there it is. So True Bend's only going to bend it one direction. Which is okay. That's not a bad thing. That's an alright way to. That's cool. But I can also, if I take it, I think do I have to change the geometry on the inside, or will this work this way? I forget. Yeah. I change my axis. So my red's going up like that. Then when I run True Bend again, weird things happen, man. Oh, give it a shot. What happened? What's the worst that can happen? I'm just making a mess right now. I'm just having geometry flail for me.
You're doing a good job flailing.
All right. That's good enough. Let's get that on the pole. Oops. All right, let me get that tucked in here, like something like that. I'm just gonna keep this simple. Put just big red flag on there.
Oh man, that's a red flag right there.
Bold statement. Caution, red flag. All right, that's.
But the drawbridge is down, so that's good.
Yeah, it's a welcoming red flag.
Oh, you can put a SketchUp logo on it. Good call, Andy.
Do I have a SketchUp logo? I mean, I know I have it somewhere. I don't know.
So if you zoom out enough, I can totally see it. If you zoom out, I'll squint my eyes. Bam. SketchUp
It's right
logo.
there. There's an SU logo. All right. Shrink that down so it fits on there. So it's currently an image, so it's not going to map right now. But I'm going to come in here to this again. I color that with white. I'm going to take this, I'm going to explode it, not export, the other E word, explode, right click, and I'm going to tell it, oops, just the surface. It's projected, okay, beauty. Oh, it's see-through. Dang it. That didn't work. All right. Let's change some things right here.
I think it looks perfect.
I'm gonna do this all inside of SketchUp. So it'd be pretty simple to go out to a image editing software. That'd be the coward's way out. And I could.
Fredo through paint. Have you heard of that?
I have, but
it?
it's not something I've used enough that I want to jump in and
Embarrass yourself in.
Well, not just me. I like to. Here's the other thing I think about you guys is these extension developers spend a lot of time really fine-tuning their craft. And if I just hop in, I'm like, don't know what I'm doing, just start clicking buttons and it doesn't work the way I expect it to, I don't want that to reflect badly on the people who spend all their time and energy making that thing. So that's why I generally don't, just try not to wing it.
I think at this point, probably everybody here knows that they can expect if something's not working, it's probably your fault.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. All right. Shift erase edges.
I think Andy's definitely qualifying for MVP today. Correct use of axis versus axes. Just throwing out all kinds of gate models, and yeah, he's been earning his keep.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say anybody else hasn't.
Yeah. Well,
It's been a very good interactive crowd here. What?
All right. Nice. There we go. Let's re-import. I'm gonna go File, Import from my desktop. This new one. Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's big. That's the one, the big flag. All right, let's see if that's gonna be. It's better. Better. All right, and I'm going to position it. The positioning really isn't essential, but the nice thing about positioning it beforehand is it's really hard to properly position the image after it's pasted on the, or after it's projected onto the curved surface. So getting it lined up ahead of time is going to make it easier to explode it. Projected, so I can say, let's just explode this. Move that down ever so slightly. There we go. Now we got a SketchUp flag. Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Perfect.
Grouped. Done. All right. That is my castle house.
Let's see the HOA try and take that down.
Yeah. You know what I'll do if they try? I'll do this.
That's right. Then they got to swim across.
You can't tell me I can't have my chickens. Actually, there's no room in this for chickens. I can't. There's no place for a coop. The alligators will get them.
Swim. Yeah. Alligators lay eggs too. What if you maybe?
Ooh, maybe I just
Maybe
keep
that's where you get
alligators
your eggs
instead of.
from.
I really don't like chickens very much. I think I'd rather have pet alligators.
Yeah. Now I realize. They're weird to crack the eggs though. Kind of hard to do.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, that's that, you guys. That is. I'm gonna go ahead and save that. I'm gonna put that up on the warehouse. So you guys are welcome to play with it. Download it. Play with the dynamic component if you want, or if somebody wants to put some sweet brick texture on there, you're welcome to that too.
So if I just apply some colors and textures to it, then I can enter it into the contest and potentially.
Derivative
be
works are
contestant.
accepted, I guess.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Andy's going to go look for alligators on the 3D warehouse right now. Awesome.
Got to be there.
Well, thank you guys so much. Another thank you to Edson for hanging out with us at the beginning of the stream. That was fun to kind of get to hear your story and your SketchUp experience. Thank you guys all for coming, hanging out with us. Yeah, something will happen between this week and next week with our streams. I don't know what it will be. I don't know how often we'll be streaming, but something will happen. So keep an eye on our forum, and we will post our streaming plans probably in that same little thing I had going on there. It does look like a Super Mario castle. It's the big one though, because it's got 3 tiers.
Yeah, the princess is actually in this castle. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's right. You know, because it's got the drawbridge and everything. But then my flag should be on the ground right out here in front, right?
That's true.
Awesome. All right. So anyhow,
And if it's the main castle, the drawbridge should actually just retract and like
that's right.
stays level instead of standing up.
And then I, as the castle owner, would fall into the lava after the plumber jumps on my head.
Exactly.
Rude.
Horrible design.
Ugh. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. And one way or another, we will see you sometime next week.
See you guys
Thanks,
next
guys.
week.